Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
Got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughened him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
Is the next search on February 28, 2020? 7:44 p.m. How, does the FBI find people? The people is misspelled P-E-O-O-P-L-E.
I object.
Did the defendant find out how the FBI finds people in this case? Or she found out?
All right, welcome back to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. Let's see. I think we're ready now. All right, welcome back. Sorry, it was coming in hot. Screw it, we'll do it live. We'll do it live, right? All right, yeah, no warning whatsoever. I ran to the post office, had some lunch. Lunch turned into a long lunch. You know how sometimes that happens? You're like, I'm just gonna take a quick lunch, and then pretty soon, quick lunch has come and gone, and it turns into a long lunch. Thank you. I'm not sure if all the things that arrived in the mail are still here. Debbie, thank you. Amazing Christmas. Hey, Mrs. R.A., you're welcome. Amazing Christmas decoration with the pickle, the Santa hat. I love it. That will go on the tree right next to the Mountain Dew little Mountain Dew ornament. Sorry, that needs to be quiet. Kiki D, yes, got yours as well. We got the pickle erasers, which I think my kids are using right now. And of course we got this. Did I crack the case? A little placard thing, which is with the little man in the corner, which is absolutely wonderful. And there was something else. My kids opened it, and I have not seen it since. The placard, the little man in the corner, right here. Here it is. This one is my fault. Here's the pickle without the hat, but the little judge pickle in the corner. Love that. That'll just go right down here, except he's green. So we'll put them right there. Welcome back. Hope you guys had a great lunch. Court is quiet. We have Judge Fleischer, who's out and about doing something. Judge Oakley has not been live in like a week. I think he's on vacation. Judge Cedric Simpson has been doing a little bit of landlord-tenant stuff, and I think he's about to start another block right now. Judge Boyd, I don't know where Judge Boyd is. Let's go to Judge Fleischer really quickly.
This way.
Fire Girl.
Have a good weekend, Judge. You too. Have fun.
Yeah. Have a good weekend. Fire Girl, handmade by Wendy. The internet is all yours. Congratulations, you're first in chat. We're going to punish you with internet ownership, probably for the weekend. No, if you run fast, it doesn't matter what you wear, because nobody can see you. Mrs. R.A. says she wants to be on the screen.
Yes.
No. She says chat not on screen. There we go.
250-771.
Yeah, Fire Girl, you should have thought of that before you committed the offense. Ignorance is no excuse, unfortunately. Sound is clipping bad on my end. Yeah. Anybody else have any sound clipping? I don't know what happened. YouTube has changed the experience for everybody, and lots of people are having trouble, but not everybody, which means it's on the receiving side, unfortunately. 11 is
5,002.
I think it would look better with a bow tie, and I know he's got them. But I think, Judge, is it nearly fortnight time for you? It's Friday. I think it's Friday fortnight for the judge.
Nope.
I think he's talking with chat. Let's see if we can see if he's in his chat. Hang on one second. We're going to see if we can show his chat on screen.
If you want to bring her, Felicia, do you mind talking to Mr. Zeladon, letting him know that we're going to put a scram on his ankle, no tolerance. If he ever tests positive again and he goes and he stays, that it's just, I can't get a hold of the lawyer, and I don't want to talk to him about the lawyer here. Please.
Tell him to get a scram bracelet.
Next one, judge is age 19, Stokes. She says she has COVID and sent over this.
Everyone's telling the judge, have a great weekend. I think he's almost done. Let's see. He looks like he's looking at his streaming computer. Everyone's saying have a wonderful weekend.
Are we doing silvers?
Let's see if he's typing in chat at all. I'm not seeing him in chat. He must be working. Scram is the opposite. There will be court on Monday. That's interesting. Monday is Veterans Day, so it is a holiday here in the U.S. There we go. We'll get rid of his chat. Just got a clean feed. See if he's handling anything else this afternoon.
Felicia, today on the monitor.
Okay. I did get just got reached out to by our friend over at Hardware and Homestead,
SFPS?
and they're ready to set up their live stream.
You want this back? You want this back?
Yes, I need to get a convention. Okay.
Yeah, come on up.
Judge Estrella Barros, she was in your custody last week, 17 years old, had a corresponding felony. That felony was dismissed and she made bond. I found out this morning. So her mom had her at pretrial. This was around maybe at early 11:10 or so. I was on the phone with her. I did tell her that she had court, but I didn't know when she was going to be able to make it or not. I'm asking if we can roll her to next week since she was bonded out and at pretrial this morning.
She was here and she just took off and she knew she had to be here though.
When did she come?
She never checked in here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why she would go pre-trial. There's nothing pre-trial.
Yeah, she's supposed to be here, not
That's
pre-trial.
where she went apparently, because when I came here, I discovered that she had bonded out because I didn't know.
They gave her paperwork that she's supposed to be here,
Probably she's
not
17.
pre-trial though. So she's just,
I think she messed up, but I don't have a number for her, but I have her mom's number. I could literally get her mom on the phone right now. I called her when I left here. Mom was like, we're at pretrial. I got these kids in. I said, okay, well, try to make it here as soon as you can. And I came back here a few times. You're in the arraignment, so I came back.
she never came.
I wasn't sure if she did or not, so I came back.
No, no. She knew she had to be here. She's playing games. How do we even know that she went to pre-trial?
I don't know if she's playing games, Judge, but I do know that she's 17 years old and her first time in custody. And it's a lot. I gave the address, I gave the court floor, I gave the courtroom number to her mother. That's what I talked
All you need to do is go pick her up now. I mean, really, a back rub too?
Free back rubs?
Just here to represent what I know.
Where do I sign up?
Judge.
It's not fair. You know, She got to be here just like everybody else. She's not here.
She did just make bond, Judge. I mean, she literally, again.
We give her paperwork telling her that she's got to be here. She knew, and they tell her, if you don't make it, we revoke your bond.
Tough one. I would ask the court to allow her to be present for a bond forfeiture setting. And it could be Monday. I'll be here every day. I'll call her mom as soon as I leave here and ask her mom to bring her here on Monday. We could have a conversation about it, get to the bottom of it.
Judge
All
is
right,
gonna cave.
SFBF Monday.
Just can we do Tuesdays, Mondays, or something?
I'm good for Tuesday.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. State, thank you for working with me. Y'all have a great weekend.
Take care, Mr. Brooker.
Yes, sir,
Thanks
you
for coming
too.
back.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Because he convinced me to put it at 2001.
So is it 2000?
2001, yeah.
Are you talking about Barahona?
Yeah, 2001.
We're trying to tell them to go like that, so we're not voting?
I don't know. Well, no. I'm revoking his bond.
Okay. what's the
So
number?
there's no rolling it.
What's the
It's
bond amount?
2001. So he's gonna auto-populate Monday anyways.
Oh, that's right.
So maybe he was thinking that they're not gonna bond him out, they're gonna wait,
That's what it-
you know,
Here you go. That's it, you're free to go.
in an effort to save money.
All right, Sarah. All right, SFBF.
Yeah. Thanks, Mr. Brooker. Good job. Shit it. Wascally wabbit.
Wascally wabbit.
I emailed you on that, so disregard it.
Yeah, you can go grab it.
That's okay.
Hey, don't listen. Don't listen.
Yeah, I'll see you again.
Hey, are we done?
Judge is gonna go play Fortnite
Oh, no, we're
on the
not done.
Switch because his son has the console.
Hey, it's kind of late, so let's have him come next week and we'll appoint him a lawyer. You know? You didn't already, did you? You didn't appoint a lawyer, did you? Okay, so we'll do it, let's do it beginning of next week.
Judge, also, I didn't have a call. Did you give them it?
Yeah, it's the same thing for all 17-year-olds, you know what I mean? GED, no weapons, that jazz, you know. So we'll put it on early for next week again, and then when we have them come back, we'll appoint them a lawyer.
You saw everything on the queue?
Yeah.
And then I'm not there, but then you just like a person.
I'm not going to grant you continuance yet, but I mean, I guess I will. I mean, I still have it, and I'll just hold it until you guys get a good date, and then.
Yes, Judge. That's the continuous based off the NMS toxicologist, correct? Okay. Thank you, Judge. And Judge, just so you know, the
Streaming, remember?
yes, I understand.
Yeah, don't say anything that you're gonna regret.
Okay. So on all of them. Okay.
I've said that more than anything to reject.
Okay.
It's one of these.
Is it where you're going to file dismissals or are we going to?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
we're planning to.
Got it.
I'm giving them time to write up their evaluations.
Okay.
And then we're gonna.
Yeah, no problem.
proceed with that.
Great.
Just let them.
Okay, thanks.
Instruct.
I think we're done. Other than that,
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
as soon as we get the other gentleman, we'll just set him to beginning next week. Stephen, do you have anyone else in back? Are you good?
We're done with
We're
them.
done?
We're
Okay.
processing the two you took in.
Well, only 2 out of all of them.
Yeah, out of all of them, only 2. You're good.
I think we're done, Judge.
Actually, I'm gonna order in it too, so if you can time.
Yeah.
Can I have the document?
Otherwise, good.
I don't have it yet.
I just put it in.
Was it coming from the laptop or was it me?
It looked like a.
Like, would you?
Yes.
I think his name was. They got it open.
Yes, they got it.
Okay. Laptop.
There was 2 of them.
But I don't know if they. Yeah, she just opened it with her key.
Yeah, they figured that.
Okay. I like this down with that. Y'all have a great day.
Okay. Is FNF on for tonight? Lots of noises in the judge's courtroom. I'd like to see if they're going to talk about some of the Karen Reed stuff that's going on. Is Judge talking to chat now? Are you talking to us? He's...
John the Beagle Dad says hello.
I think he's talking to us. Or his chat.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is
Where's Allie?
At the airport, picking up Kathy.
Oh, really? Nice.
She made it.
Yeah,
So she made it in.
Yay!
finally.
No, I don't believe it.
Yeah, right?
It's a leprechaun. I don't believe it.
Bingo on leprechaun.
They shows up alone.
Ah, man, what a day. Today was long, huh?
Yeah.
Yeesh.
This judge likes Skittles and Fortnite. Plays with his son.
Good day.
Wait, Victoria, when is your birthday?
Happy birthday, Victoria.
Tomorrow.
No. Really?
Hey.
No, 18?
22.
25.
Come on, she's barely legal to drink.
I know what she wants for her birthday. A raise.
Yes, top it up. Across the board, yes.
We got to have a party, huh? Come on.
I've had quite a few.
Victoria, Monday.
Victoria's birthday on Monday, everyone.
We'll bring something in the
We
court.
can break stuff.
On Monday?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Celebrate your birthday.
Aw.
Hope I don't forget. Oh, hey.
No. Well, maybe. But just let us know so we can bring it Tuesday instead.
Okay, no, I'll.
You'll be here Monday? Okay. I'll bring it. Yes.
You're getting all kinds of happy birthdays. Yeah. Yeah, all over.
Well, maybe.
Because chat's broken.
Oh, no.
Because it's not filled out.
No, it's done.
God, that's not.
I know, that means but it's multicolored because it's blue. So there you go. It's kind of the same.
Well, my dad is watching. So make sure he's watching, right?
Hi, Dad, I made it safe and sound. No bullet holes.
Not yet, anyway.
Hey, I got a package. It's heavy. It's cables.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Okay. Oh, where, hey, it's here in downtown?
In the jury process.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Are we done? Oh, we're done. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Judge.
Done. We're waiting for someone to come back and we're just going to reset. So,
Okay, gotcha.
yeah, we're done.
Bye, you do. Bye, y'all.
Includes a bit of honey, 3 bit of honey,
Yeah, we
2
have to give him a
peppermints,
reset.
and a fruit chew.
No, we do.
Happy gear day.
Hopefully they're still there because we hasn't gotten a reset.
Look at these. Look at these.
Yes, I just sent a message like 30 seconds ago saying you didn't need to come back because I talked, so you said that I can send another one right now.
2 50-foot XLR cables. That's what I was waiting for. I now have almost 300 feet of XLR, which I'm going to use almost every bit of.
You want to say bye? I'm going to say bye to everybody.
We'll
We're
wait
gonna let
for
him
her
go.
dad to look.
Yep.
You can say bye to us, Judge.
Oh, really?
Hey, Victoria.
Is he there?
I think he is. Hell yeah.
What's the name?
My dad is called Jos.
How do I spell
Jos.
that?
J-O-S. J-O-S.
Oh, J-O-S.
Yes.
No.
No, he's not. He doesn't have an account on me.
Do you need an account to log on?
No.
YouTube? I don't know. For you?
I don't know if he's in the chat. I don't think so. What's up, guys? Look at him go. What's up, Sig? Goedenavond.
No, he's not there yet.
Damn it.
What? Language.
Whatever. Shout out to my dad anyway.
She's nervous.
You want to call him, see if he's going to log on?
I can call him. That's funny. Just when you need him, he doesn't pick up. Nope.
No.
Damn it.
All right.
Whatever.
I'm going to let him go. You want to say bye?
Say bye.
Thanks for the birthday wishes.
That's Victoria right
I'm
there.
25.
Happy birthday,
All
Victoria.
right. We're going to let you go, guys.
Bye.
Have a wonderful afternoon.
Bye-bye.
Love you guys. Thanks.
And we're out. All right. I've never seen him sign off before. I wanted to stick around for that. Definitely Dutch. You hear it on the accent. And she said, Guillaume the Vond. I can't even say that word. I'm not even going to try. What on this green earth is happening? Mrs. Ari, that was just the judge saying bye on his YouTube channel. Okay, here's what we have. We have almost nothing happening. We have Cedric Simpson is doing a little bit of. Oh wait, hang on.
Monday, December 23rd, 2024.
This just popped up.
2:30 before Chief Judge Recchi.
Right.
It's a cool hairstyle.
You do need to be present by Zoom hearing at that time.
I wanted that as a kid.
And I do need to set appropriate bond for you.
Yes,
What's your current address?
12.
Yeah, we don't need to know. He's currently
1215.
Yeah, 12 something.
Yeah.
1215 East Helena.
1250 East Galena. Galena. Galena.
Galena.
Yes,
Okay.
Wichita. Yes, sir.
What city?
Wichita.
How long have you lived there?
About a year and a half.
Do you have any family that reside in Butler County, Kansas?
No, sir, I do not.
All right. Recommendation for bond, Mr. Canfield?
Your Honor, the state's recommendation based upon the defendants being at least a C on the grid would be a $10,000 cash surety with the added condition of no contact with any endorsed witness.
That appears to be appropriate to the court. The court does order $10,000 cash or surety bond and no contact as requested by the state. And anything further, Mr. Canfield?
No, Your Honor.
I was supposed to be going to treatment as well. I was seeing if I could get a lower bond. I was supposed to be going to treatment. I was supposed to go to Bel Air Treatment Center here in the next couple days. I was saying, please, if I want to go to treatment, I really want to go to treatment. I've told the officers, I've showed the officers my paperwork for going to treatment. If I could please have a lower bond so I can go to treatment and get the help that I need, would be awesome. I'd appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Sulter. The court feels very comfortable with $10,000 cash or surety bond. I understand where you'd want it lower. However, I think that that's a minimal bond to ensure your next appearance.
What was the offense? Was it pretty serious?
Sure, just trying to go to treatment. Okay.
There being nothing further to come before the court, court is in recess. Mr. Sulter, have a good day.
Thank you.
He tried. Mr. Canfield is gone into low power mode, where he reduces all movements to just those strictly necessary to survive.
Sir, do you have Eers next?
We have Eers next. Yes.
Mr. Canfield
next case
is the
is State of Kansas versus Austin Renee Eers, 24 TR 1985. Good afternoon.
Hello.
You're back before the court, and this is subsequent to failure to appear on the traffic docket before Judge Webster, and she has set a $500 cash or surety bond. The court sets your next appearance date. Well, excuse me. Okay, the court will set your next appearance date before Judge Webster, and that would be, well, let me make inquiry. Are you currently employed?
Well, I was, and now I'm not. So I ended up on the streets because after my car got stolen, and that's why I didn't make it to my court date to begin with.
Okay.
I just want to. My mom's here to come get me. I want to go home so I can get my job back and actually get my life back together. That's all I want to do.
Okay. The court does maintain the $500 cash or surety bond. The court does schedule this matter back before Judge Webster on Monday, January 6, 2025. The court understands that you may not be employed at this point. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any money saved back for an attorney?
No.
And this is a traffic matter, so there's no jail time involved. Is that correct, Mr. Canfield? We don't.
Why is she in custody for a traffic offense?
No other charges other than traffic matters?
There are only traffic offenses in this case, Your Honor. However, with them being misdemeanors, there is a possibility of jail time.
Okay, then the court would appoint Darren Patterson to represent you at all stages of the proceedings, and that will be taken, your case will next be taken up Monday, January 6, 2025 at 8 a.m. by Zoom. Monday, January 6, 2025, 8 a.m. by Zoom.
Oh, it's an FTA. Okay.
Question?
Yes.
Is cash surety, is that $500 cash, no bondsman, or is that the 10% with the bondsman, or what?
It's a cash or surety bond. Cash or surety bond. You have the ability to either post $500 cash or a bondsman act as your surety in the case. And typically a fee for a $500 surety bond, typically that's contractual between you and the bail bondsman, would be $50.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Anything further, Mr. Canfield?
No, Your Honor.
Anything further, Ms. Ellers?
No.
There being nothing further, court is in recess. Have a good day.
Mr. Wilkerson.
Who would you like next, sir?
I have Christopher Wilkerson.
Okay. And do you have a Mitchell next?
Okay, we've wound up our cords.
I do have a Mitchell set, and we can sure take up Audrey Mitchell. Your choice.
Wilkerson's fine. We just didn't have her on the on one list, but on another one we did. So I just want to make sure I knew who you wanted. So Wilkerson.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, Josh, I'm looking at the one you sent me here.
Next case is State of Kansas versus Christopher Lee Wilkerson.
This judge doesn't have a very good bedside manner.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wilkerson. You are charged by way of information in count 1 on or about September 29, 2023, in Butler County, Kansas, with driving while license is suspended or canceled, a Class A non-person misdemeanor. Count 2, your charge, same date and location, with no proof of insurance, a Class B non-person misdemeanor. Count 3, your charge, same date and
The
location.
judge has invisible papers.
With expired tag, an unclassified non-person misdemeanor. Those are the charges pending against you. And Mr. Wilkerson, do you understand the charges? Pardon me?
Yes, sir.
You do have the right to counsel. If you cannot afford an attorney, one would be appointed to represent you. Are you currently employed?
Not at the moment.
I could not understand you.
Not at the moment.
He's a quiet talker.
How long have you been unemployed?
About 2 weeks.
Do you have any money saved back to hire an attorney?
No, sir.
Based on your lack of financial wherewithal, Mr. Wilkerson, the court does appoint Debtor and Patterson to represent you at all stages of the proceedings. Darren Patterson is appointed to represent you at all stages of the proceedings.
He's the only one I've ever heard
Sets your
him
next
assign.
appearance date or by Zoom, Monday, January 6, 2025 at 8 a.m. Monday, January 6, 2025 at 8 a.m. by Zoom. Court needs to set an appropriate bond for you. What is your current address, Mr. Wilkerson?
We're going to skip his address. And while we do that, let me jump to the one that Josh sent me. Josh is one of our great researchers of wonderful trials. Where's the... Okay. Okay, let me see if I can find this stream from when? 9 days ago. That's this one. This is a little bit older, but Josh said it's worth the watch. 2 hour 37 minute roughly. So 2:37, right around here. Oh, they blur out the jury box. Did you see that? And then they made it all go black.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. I'm going to be brief. I know we had discussions in chambers. Mr. Brzeski has a very long record. He's not proud of it. I've had numerous conversations with him over the past couple months. He stood up, took responsibility for this case early on. He is here today to beg the court. He's here hat in hand for the court to consider giving him an opportunity at community control and possibly a chance to go back into a treatment. There is a bed waiting for him at the Matt Talbot Center in the Cleveland area. While this case has been going on separately, there's been cases out of Cuyahoga County that he's pled to, and through those cases, he was referred to the Matt Talbot Center, and then he's been in our county jail, so he hasn't started his treatment there. But Your Honor, he's got a history of various offenses, but specifically here with forging checks, cashing them for the money. He was doing it in this case. He was doing it in Cuyahoga County. Mr. Brzeski has a drug problem. I know he told probation in this case that for this matter, he used the money to buy an urn, Your Honor, but he also in the past has used money to purchase drugs. I'm asking the court, these are nonviolent offenses. He is remorseful. Again, he's taking responsibility. I'm asking the court to please consider placing him on a community control sanction, giving him an opportunity to go to Matt Talbot and put the ball in his court, Your Honor. If he doesn't follow through, and I know his history isn't promising. I know he's had probation violations in the past, but if he doesn't follow through, then he knows that he's got up to 2 years hanging over his head here. So I'm asking this court to give him an opportunity to show this court that he is serious this time, that he wants to turn his life around and hopefully sober up. Thank you, Your Honor.
Jamie, I have a question about on the prior record.
Yes.
On page 9 of the report, there's a attempted escape and a non-support.
Attempted escape.
Under the non-support, it says went in on December 18th of 23 and got out in October of 20. Or I'm sorry, 13 to 20.
Are we in a high-rise building?
It had on the
Look out the windows.
From the ODRC, it appears he went in and then he would be released back on parole, but I don't have and was never able to get the parole dates.
Oh no, those are doors. I
I
thought those were
Due
skyscrapers.
to the
we're looking down
efficiency
on.
of the DRC.
Correct.
Because then in the interim, there was another sentence in June of 16.
Josh says,
June
wait
of 17.
till he speaks. Just sit there, hang tight. The good part's
Final
coming.
date of discharge from that case. When he finally completed all either his prison time or parole time was October 24th of 2020.
I object to how that computer is mounted underneath that table with the cord pulled tight up
Brzeski,
over
what do
the
you want to
edge.
tell me?
Your Honor, I just, like Mr. Watson said, I ain't proud of my record. I've been struggling my whole life with a drug addiction. I've been on, just placed in situations that I had some control over and made terrible decisions. I was also placed in situations I had no control over and made good decisions. And this one is just another opportunity, Your Honor. I'd like to show you that I can be probationable and I can be monitored. I can succeed, and I will, and I can sober up.
Then why haven't you? If you can do all that, why haven't you done it?
I've still been hanging on to records of my past, in which I've made an attempt, and actually I've cut 2 people out of my life since I've been in this county. Actually, in Cuyahoga also, I haven't contacted the woman I was involved with. I haven't contacted her.
Who's that?
That was Lori Wood.
How'd you get involved in this scam with these checks?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I found a bag on a job site with a checkbook in it.
What job site?
It was I forget where I was at. I think it was like in Middleburg Heights or somewhere.
I'm not buying the story.
It was a commercial. It was a commercial job site.
Who are you working for?
I was working for Novax at the time.
What's Novax?
It's a painting company. The union that I was laid off because of my drug problem.
So you're working at this job site in, where'd you say, Fairview?
I believe it was Wycliffe. I think, I'm not sure.
Didn't you say?
I found a bag. I found a duffel bag, backpack.
Didn't you
and
say
it had a
Fairview
checkbook in it.
First time?
Excuse me?
Didn't you say Fairview the first time?
No.
I believe you said Middleburg Heights, Your Honor.
Middleburg Heights. And then now it's Wycliffe?
I'm not sure where it was, Your Honor.
Okay, so what did you find?
I found a duffel bag, a backpack with a checkbook in it. And I
the job site was empty because we're the last ones on the job. So it was basically just in a pile of sweaters and jackets. So I kept it. I kept the backpack. I kept it in the vehicle for a while. I probably sat on it a couple months, and rummaging through my stuff, I found it. And basically, I was, at that time using. I had been released from jail, I believe.
So.
And I went back to the woman I told you about, to that house.
To what house?
To my address that I have.
Okay.
And this, like I said, I haven't made no attempts.
Right, so you.
I got talked into signing the checks. And I didn't realize the severity of the situation.
Oh, yeah, come on.
I thought it would go against my credit report or
You've been in enough trouble
collections.
for drugs and thieving that you knew exactly what the hell was going on.
I didn't realize the severity of the offense. I thought, like I said, I thought it was going to go against my collection or credit report. I wasn't that
think it was a
smart
crime?
to know that I was committing a crime.
So you're either in Middleburg Heights or Wickliffe, and you find this duffel bag full of checks of a company that's in Willoughby, right?
I don't know where the company's at. I can't even remember what it was.
So, and then the duffel bag sat in a car for a while?
Yeah.
Months? And
About a
then-
month or so.
And then you decide to do what? To take one of these checks? What did you do?
Yeah, I took one of the checks and signed it and made a withdrawal.
What do you mean you signed it? It was a blank check, right?
I put my name on it.
Okay.
Signed it to me.
So you signed it, paid to the order of you.
That'll
filled
catch you
in
every time.
$2,000. And then what'd you do? Sign the bottom of the check then?
Yeah, I believe so.
And
This is so long ago. It's
who's Dusty Mays?
I have no idea.
Where's Ace Cash Express?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
It's a check cashing place, I'm sure.
I don't think the judge is buying this.
Nonetheless, it was foolish, Your Honor.
I just got checks this week for my company. And they made them wrong. The name's wrong.
Who's Constance Wagner?
Amnesia.
I believe that was probably another check I wrote.
Okay. Well, who's Constance Wagner?
I have no idea.
The amnesia is getting real.
Why did you make out a check to Constance Wagner?
I was using the money to get the drugs, Your Honor.
I know, why Constance Wagner?
I'm not sure.
Why did you make a check out to Dusty Mays?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Okay. Why don't you have a discussion with him, and he can decide if he wants to keep lying to me,
I mean, I don't know
or if he wants to be straight with me. Okay.
Understood, Your Honor.
So now we have intermission music. While they work this one out. The judge is on to you, man. He's on to you. He's not believing the story that you found the checks at a job site. Okay. Looks like we're done with the discussion. Now we're back.
All I want is the truth.
Just,
it's not.
just tell the truth. and then we went black.
Who's Constance Wagner?
I believe that was the name on one of the checks that I cashed, Your Honor.
Right.
And who
So when you went to the bank, or when you went to wherever you went, and you presented a check made out to Constance Wagner, I assume they asked you, are you Constance Wagner?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes,
And you
they
said,
did.
yes, I'm Constance Wagner?
Yes.
Why didn't you make the check out to like a male so they could probably see you're not a female when you walked in with the check?
Well, like I said, Your Honor, I wasn't in no shape or form. I was under the influence of drugs. I didn't even know where this took place. I forgot all about that incident. Also, it's been quite some time since these cases happened. Like I said, but I totally forgot. I'm not trying to lie. I just didn't remember, Your Honor.
It just seems curious to me that you wrote out checks to two females, presented the checks to cash. Did you cash any of the checks?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'd probably, if I have this case, I'm sure they went through then.
You mean, so what you're telling me, you've done this so many times that you can't remember this one?
No, Your Honor, it's been quite some time that has passed, and I apologize.
It was a year ago. Okay. So you had these checks in your possession for a month, at least a month, right?
Yes.
It went from several months to a month. And
And I know about the tech company is the checks that I had in my possession.
right, that you found at some
Yes. During the course of me,
some building that was not in use when you were on a painting job.
yes.
Okay. So presumably TKR Tech, whose checks they were, had been out a bunch of checks for at least a month, up to several months, and didn't report it until the day you walked in to try to cash it on July 20th of 23. That seems unlikely to me, that they would just be missing checks and not know they're missing
Well, I
checks.
believe that the people at the check cashing place knew that I wasn't who I was saying I was.
You mean they got clued in that you weren't Dusty Mays?
Sure.
Imagine that. So you were doing this completely on your own, is that right?
No, Your Honor.
No, then
No, I mean, I was being driven. I had somebody drive me.
Who?
A friend.
Dusty Mays. Constance.
Antonio Harris was his name.
Who's Antonio Harris?
He was the one that took me to the check cashing place.
I know, but he didn't just pluck you out of thin air and drive you to the check cashing place. So who is Antonio Harris?
He was somebody that I was in contact with that showed me where to cash the check.
Okay.
How
were you in
check.
contact with him?
To a drug dealer.
Okay. When did you get in contact with him?
Prior to that month.
Okay. When you found the
Probably
checks?
Probably a week before I cashed it.
Okay.
Probably a week or so before I attempted to cash it.
All right, so what'd you tell Antonio?
I'd give him money if he drove me. He told me I would be able to cash him there.
So Antonio's the one that directed it to Ace Cash Express?
Yeah. I didn't have a vehicle.
So Ace Cash sounds like they're
Where's
in on
Ace
it.
Cash Express?
I'm not sure.
Is it in Ohio somewhere?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it in Cleveland
It's in
somewhere?
Cuyahoga, probably, or Painesville out here. I'm not sure.
Do you have any idea, Jamie, where Ace Cash Express is?
We can Google it for you, Judge.
Could be Mayfield.
There's one in University of
So
Heights.
first you went to
Dayton,
185th,
East
right?
Cleveland.
You know, this.
What did you say?
I don't remember the sequence, Your Honor, how it went. I really don't.
There's a lot of them.
All I know is I made one horrible decision after another.
Maple Heights.
I got involved with somebody that I had no business dealing with.
Who?
Mr. Harris.
Okay.
Who led me to believe that it would be simple and easy and none of this would happen where I am today.
I was lied to, Your Honor.
Me being strung out on drugs and desperate like I was. I wasn't making.
You didn't cash a check to get money for drugs, did you?
One of the checks, yes.
I thought you cashed it to get an earn.
I used some of the money, yes. My granddaughter at the time, during this, had passed away. And what led me to come across was I was digging around and I found that checkbook. And I found the checkbook and I asked how I could get money out of this, who would be able to help me with these checks. And I was led to Mr. Harris. And I cashed several checks, Your Honor. And the money I used for drugs and the money I did do something with, but I'm not making an excuse, I'm just telling you what happened. I was dealing with a woman I'd been involved with for 10 years, a drug-induced relationship, solely out of convenience, trying to stay on.
These checks weren't found by you in a backpack in a building that was unoccupied. These checks were taken from the business. 3 checks were taken from the business. Care to elaborate how they were taken from the business?
That I don't know. That I don't know, Your Honor. I did find the tech company.
The judge is trying to steal my
checks.
plaque that
I did
says,
find
did I
those.
crack
The other
the
ones were
case?
given to me.
By who?
Mr. Harris, with the attempt of cashing them.
You're lying.
I didn't steal the checks from no company or no
So
no
now we
business.
go from, you found them in a backpack in a building that wasn't occupied that you were working at, kept them for a month to several months in
The tech company.
in the car, and then decided to cash them and called Harris to find out where you could cash them. Now it's, you just found one of them and Harris gave you the other 2.
Thank you, Debbie. What are the
Yeah.
odds? What are the
I
odds?
had the tech companies, and that's how I was led into Mr. Harris, because that's what he was into.
What?
I had the company, the tech company, the TKR tech company. I had that checkbook. I wasn't sure on how to write checks or how to get money
You had
or
a
where to
checkbook.
go.
You had a checkbook, is that what you said?
Yes,
There were 3 checks.
I didn't count the checks, Your Honor.
Oh, Jesus.
And by making the attempt of the TKR tech companies, that's how I was led to do it again.
I don't know what you mean by that.
I found somebody that could help me cash the check, the tech company, and show me where to go to cash it and how to cash it.
What do you mean the tech company? You found
how to write the checks.
So how did you know Harris had 2 checks from TK?
I didn't. I didn't.
You didn't. It was just a coincidence that you found some and then he had some?
No, I was given his phone number because that's
By
what
who?
By my dealer.
By your dealer. How did your dealer know to give you Harris's phone number?
Because that's what the guy's into, I guess, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, what did you discuss with your drug dealer?
I asked him, I said I tried to write checks. I said I have a checkbook. I don't know how to get this money out of this company. Where could I cash the check? He told me go to a check cashing spot or I didn't have a vehicle. And I said, well, who would, you know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean.
And he gave me this guy's number to call him for a ride. I gave him a ride, and this is what the guy was into.
And Harris
since I was so willing to
and
cash
Harris just happened to have 2 of these checks himself from TKR.
Same company you happened to find.
those
Well,
were
you
in my
just told me a
possession.
couple
Those
minutes
were in
ago.
my possession. The TKRs were in my possession. The other checks that you're talking about, I don't know where they came from. All I know is I attempted to cash them.
What do you mean, what other checks you didn't know where they came from? What checks?
Well, if there's a Constance and
Well, you said,
the
you
Hardy-
told me you wrote them out. You wrote it out to Constance Wagner, right? Isn't that what you told me before I left a little while ago? Didn't you tell me you wrote it out to Constance Wagner and then presented that to try to cash it and they wouldn't cash it?
yeah, that is what happened.
You haven't said one honest thing to me since I walked in here. Your story has changed so many times you can't keep your lies straight. I mean, I know who Dusty Mays is, okay? But you profess not to know who Dusty Mays is. You made a check out to Wagner, you did make a check out to Wagner. Harris had 2 of these checks somehow, and you just hooked up with him through a drug deal. Man, this is one of the single worst stories I've ever heard. So, what else you want to tell me?
I mean, through this, Your Honor, I am confused about these dates and these checks. I know the Constance, I don't remember exactly on what order I tried to cash these checks in, or if I even did cash the checks.
I mean, if you're making up a name, somebody to cash a check, Constance Wagner,
That's what I'm saying. The checks were-
Wagner is a strange name to make up.
Those checks were already made and given to me to cash.
By who?
By Mr. Harris.
You're the one, you told me that you found them.
I found the TKR tech companies. I found one checkbook. That's how I got involved with this guy to begin with.
Did you give him the checkbook?
I did give him the checkbook.
Oh, okay. So
This is a fluid story.
But I know I attempted to cash the checks, and I don't even remember if the checks were cashed.
So Harris wrote Dusty Mays on it?
I don't even remember writing that, Your Honor.
No, I asked you, did Harris write Dusty Mays? You said Harris filled them out.
Yes, he had.
He wrote Dusty Mays
Yes,
on it?
yes,
And he
I
wrote
did.
Constance Wagner on it?
Yes.
I mean, were you dressed up like in a wig or
No,
something that you
no.
appeared to be a female?
No, I was given a fake ID, paperwork.
A fake ID of females?
No, it was just my face on it.
Your face on an ID that had Constance Wagner's name on it.
Yes.
And Dusty Mays' name on it.
The Dusty Mays, I don't remember.
I do. I remember her. My guess is you were involved with some females to try to get these checks cashed, and it didn't work. That somebody took them from TKR, not found in a backpack, in a building in Middleburg Heights or Wycliffe.
Judge is putting the pieces together.
Cleveland Heights, 185th, Ace Cash Express. You're all over the place.
Michelle, do you know Dusty Mays?
I'm just asking, Your Honor, please give me a chance.
Chance of what?
Chance of proving myself to you and into the court. I apologize for this. They said it was one bad decision after another. I can't even remember. I don't know how I even got involved with these people. I'm not putting nobody else here for. I'm the only one sitting here facing this, and they're all doing whatever they're doing.
How did I get stuck with this?
And through my ignorance and foolish belief that it wasn't as big of a deal as it was, is got me here. And I just don't know what else to say, Your Honor. But I certainly I'm not lying when I tell you I'm truly sorry for what I did.
I'm not lying when I say I'm sorry for what I did. The caveat.
I just need a break, man.
Addiction's a powerful thing, and clearly it's destroyed this guy's life, caused him to make decisions that have consequences that echo through time for him. I think the judge is
Constance Wagner.
Oh, gee, Sean.
73-year-old female from Chardon. So it wasn't just a made-up name.
It was another stolen ID. This was a check cashing and ID
But
theft ring.
You didn't put that name on there. Harris put the name on there, right?
I wrote the checks, Your Honor.
But you told me Harris wrote the checks.
I've signed them.
Harris wrote them and you signed them?
Yes. When I was attempting to get the money. Or when I did get them. I can't remember.
You countersigned them.
If they went
like
through
you signed
or
the
not.
back.
If I would have known it was a 73-year-old woman, I wouldn't have even tried to cash the check. Like I said.
What difference does it make who it was?
It don't.
Okay,
It's
so
still
what-
wrong.
So what does that have to do with it, that it was a 73-year-old woman?
Well, with your regards to being a better name or decent, something easier.
Well, nobody just made up the name Constance Wagner
No.
out of thin air.
Should have used
Like I
John
said, this
Doe.
guy was into this stuff, so he probably had.
But you just told me you made out the checks.
I signed the check, Your Honor.
Judge is going to have to up the Advil dosage here.
Anything else you want to say?
Please, Your Honor. I just apologize. I just want to apologize, man. I'm not trying to lie to you. It's just the way everything's coming out. It's just I don't understand it anymore. I don't understand what I did first, what I did last, how it was written, if one was cashed or if it wasn't.
We're in Ohio with this one.
All I know is I'm in a lot of trouble, and I don't want to go to jail, man.
Yeah, you've been in a lot of trouble doing all similar stuff for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state is asking for a prison sentence. The state does not believe that the defendant is amenable to community control sanctions. He has gone to prison in the past, and on his multiple cases that he has been on community control for, he has had community control violations, including as recently as September of this year for a case that is almost identical to this case, where in January the defendant was convicted of identity fraud and forgery in Cuyahoga County and missed repeated probation appointments. Based on the conduct and the continued conduct in this case and in his other cases, the state believes that prison is the appropriate sentence here. Thank you.
All right, I've reviewed the pre-sentence report and the drug and alcohol evaluation. I've listened to Mr. Brzeski, listened to counsel. And clearly not one thing you've said has been true. And you're very experienced at this. And you've been to prison a number of times. So what you attribute as a failed memory because you were high doesn't work.
Your Honor, I don't. Please, Your Honor.
You're a lousy probationer. You don't do what you're supposed to do because you don't want to do what you're supposed to do. You're doing the same thing in Cuyahoga County. You completely made up a story where these checks came from, how they came to be cashed. I doubt that Antonio Harris is even a real person, okay? So you're not amenable to community control. Count one, I'm going to sentence you to 12 months in prison. Count four, 12 months in prison. They'll be concurrent to one another with credit for 48 days and the costs. When you get out, you might be on post-release control for up to 2 years under the parole authority with conditions. If you violate the conditions, they could send you back to prison for up to 9 months for each violation, up to 1/2 of my sentence. If your violation's a new felony, you could get an additional consecutive prison sentence for the violation of 12 months or the time left under post-release control, whichever is more. Remaining counts are dismissed. Anything else, Ms. Gold?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Watson?
No, Your Honor. So you got 12 months.
What was I supposed to say, man? I mean, I don't. This is over 2 years ago.
I understand.
I mean, I don't know which check was wrote first, which check was last. And now I'm going to prison?
You got 12 months, he ran them concurrent, and then you got 48 days credit, so it's basically a month and a half, so you got about 10 and a half to go.
I mean, what the fuck did he want me to say, man? He's got me talking in circles and want me to tell other people? Like, dude, I got involved with this guy and he's giving me these checks to fucking cash. What more, what?
I'll meet you in the jail so we can talk about it.
I mean, what the fuck, man? What do you want me to say, man?
Kathy, Mr. Strauss is waiting for you.
Okay.
Wow. I believe he's still not remorseful.
I'll see ya.
There was a lot of in it for himself there. Thomas, that is awesome. On Mod Chat. Mod Chat has a lot of fun stuff in it, and Thomas posted as he's following some of the storms across the country, he finds something and he's like, "Hey, check out the rotation, these signatures and everything." It's basically a tornado, and Thomas, I hope you don't mind me sharing this. He says, "I'm geeking out because I called it before the National Weather Service warned it." LOL. That is awesome. We have our own expert weatherman amongst us. Thomas, good job. That's really cool. Okay, we have another clip in this same segment in this court that happened. This is a little over a week ago this took place. Let's fast forward to about, 5:45-ish. Right about here. Should be starting here in just a minute. Look at the Doppler on that. Yes. Some of the things he said were concerning. Oh, if I'd known it was a 73-year-old woman, I wouldn't. I feel bad. No, everybody is a victim when you're talking about identity theft.
1:30.
Waiting for the judge to come back. They killed the lights for a second. Oops. I went too far forward. Sorry. I got anxious. I got a little anxious. Came back and right here.
The matter was referred.
There we go. I just shouldn't skip ahead. We can wait for 10 seconds and it will turn on.
Indictment. The matter was referred for a pre-sentence report and a drug and alcohol evaluation. We are set for sentencing today. Those evaluations have been completed. The state has had the opportunity to review those reports. The state of Ohio is prepared to proceed today, Your Honor. And just for the record, the defendant does have 12 days of jail time credit at this time.
He needs help, and he's not to the point where he's ready to get help, but jail might help him. In this case, prison.
All right, Mr. Fatica.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I've had an opportunity to review the PSR and the psychiatric evaluation of the case. We're ready to go forward.
Go ahead.
As you can see from the report, Ms. Jurnacic has no prior criminal history, no convictions of any kind, I don't believe. There is a joint rep for community control sanctions here. We'd ask the court to consider imposing the recommendation included in the psych evaluation. Mr. Nask was in a couple of abusive relationships, one her marriage, the other relationship that just ended a month or so ago. I think she would benefit for some counseling to deal with the trauma from those experiences. But again, we'd ask for community control sanctions with the recommendations concerned in the psychiatric report.
All right, Mr. Jurnacic, what do you want to tell me?
What do you want me to, what are you asking me?
What?
What are you asking me?
You can say anything you want for me to consider before I sentence you. So what would you like to tell me?
I've already started bettering myself and making sure I'm committed to never putting myself in a position like this ever again.
And what do you mean, putting yourself in a position?
Just being around good people and being a good person and helping others.
What about the situation with Miss Myers?
What would you like to know?
Well, I'd like to know what happened.
I entered a guilty plea, not because I'm admitting necessarily guilt, but I understand.
Well, sure you are, because I asked you the question.
Yeah.
If you understood that by entering a guilty plea, you were fully admitting your guilt to the offense. So you didn't do anything with regard to Miss Myers? Are you telling me you administered the drug to her as you were supposed to?
Yes, sir. Yes,
But it didn't show up in her test the following day?
correct.
Right? Why is that?
The lab report that I have also states that her other medications that she took even the morning of the drug test were not in her urine as well.
Okay. Are you telling me that what can you tell me about the patent situation?
There wasn't a situation. I did my job fully as I'm supposed to.
Okay, what about the Lucci situation?
Same thing.
What are we doing? Well, then what are we doing here? Why are we here for sentencing if you didn't do anything?
I wanted to plea with the Alford plea.
Well, but it wasn't an Alford plea.
Right. I didn't have necessarily proper education or counsel on this.
Oh, sure you did. I mean, this guy's a really good lawyer. I've known him for 20 years.
I think it was maybe a conflict.
10 of it sitting here, 10 of it before that, having cases with him, against him, okay? So he knows exactly what he's doing. He's very smart, very good at what he does.
I agree. I just...
Now, do you have a problem with drugs?
No.
Have you ever had a problem with drugs?
No.
Why did you take that Dilaudid home on that one occasion?
It was just an accident. And I admitted it, and I took it
How did it get in
back.
your bag if it was just an accident?
From after watching the videos, I had carried it around with me.
Why? Why would you carry a drug around with you instead of just taking it where you get it from and administer it? Why would you carry it around?
So my employer, I was going to give it to her when I was clocking out, and that morning, plus I had COVID, that morning it was a snowstorm and management didn't come in. I had worked like 5 or 6 shifts in a row, different hours and schedules, and that was the 3rd shift that I was leaving, and it just went in my bag with the rest of my paperwork and stuff. And when they were calling me, I was sleeping from being up. And when I finally answered the call, I didn't think I had it, but I dumped my bag out and it was in there, which I looked at.
Who's Dr. Demagon?
Pain management.
And have you ever seen Demagon?
I did for 6 months,
When?
like 8-10 years ago, maybe.
What drugs did he prescribe to you?
Percocet
And how long did you take Percocet?
for the 6 months.
When was that? What year was that?
I'm really not sure. It was quite a long time ago, though.
What a name, right?
Did you develop
Dr. Demigod.
a Percocet habit?
No.
No.
Are you just made differently?
It seems like you and I and maybe other people are in a like in parallel universes, because you don't seem very attached to reality on this situation, because you clearly did what you were alleged to have done. You didn't take the Dilaudid by mistake. Okay?
It was never even opened.
Yeah, well, you make it very difficult for me.
I apologize.
Because, well, I don't know that an apology is appropriate. I mean, it's just the way it is.
It's not my intention.
Because you clearly did a lot of things wrong with the intention of taking those drugs, to use those drugs, in my opinion, as I objectively sit here and look at this. And everything else, everything that happened, you've got an excuse for. A well thought out excuse that doesn't make any sense on any of these occasions. It just doesn't. I think the Lucci thing, you have a medication in the book when you weren't even there. Well, how's that possible?
It wasn't. It was like I wrote the date backwards or something on the book. And none of this, I never had any problem until I told them I was going in front of the board of nursing. And literally within 10 days, they started telling me that I did this with this person and this with this person. And then again, tried to fire me again. I had reached out to the board. I drove there and had a meeting. I had begged them not to please not let me tell my employer because this is going to start all over again. And within a week, it did. I told my employer on the 18th of April of 23 that I was going in front of the board. I went in front of the board on the 21st, and by the time I came back on the 2nd or the 3rd was my first write-up for Mr. Lucci.
For which you did nothing improper.
The bosses sat me down, we went over it. I believe I got an education, or I think it was an education.
What does that mean?
Just where they go over the steps of the process of signing things out. And
Why? Because you did something improper?
I wrote the date or the time backwards or something like that.
I mean, the tone of this whole thing is that your ex-husband was out to get you. The ex-boyfriend was out to get you. The nursing home was out to get you. Your phone was hacked, your email was hacked. And all that added up to a big setup where you ended up with a criminal conviction. That seems to be the tone of things. You have a problem with marijuana?
No.
No? Did you ever have a problem with marijuana?
No, sir.
Okay. So, your psych report, they say you meet the criteria for cannabis use disorder due to your history of use starting around your early 20s, with the last use being 7 or 8 months ago. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
It was just on occasion.
Why?
I'm not sure why.
So I don't know there's a joint recommendation for community control. And I'm wondering, what am I supposed to do with you on, what conditions am I supposed to impose upon you on community control if there's nothing wrong? If there's nothing to rehabilitate, what am I supposed to, why would I put you on community control? I mean, part of the machinations of these statutes is to punish you and to rehabilitate you. What's to rehabilitate if there's nothing to rehabilitate?
I believe that I think differently than other people, and I think talking to a counselor or a psychiatrist would be helpful.
For what? For what purpose?
Just to deal with things. Like, I have time management issues, organization issues. When someone asks me like the year or time, I really can't say. I don't know if it's I don't pay attention or if I'm just different than other people. I'm not sure.
Okay, well, that's not even what I'm talking about. I mean, there are a series of facts in this case which add up to you doing exactly what they accused you of doing. And you seem either reluctant or unable to accept reality. So there's a detachment from reality here that gets in the way of any rehabilitation. Because you clearly were taking drugs that you attributed to patients. And my pretty good guess is you were taking them because you have some problem with drugs that may or may not have developed through your association with Demagogue. That's pretty clear to me. Now, you are either unable to accept that that's happened or unwilling to accept that that's happened. It's one of those two things. So I quite frankly don't know what to do with you. I mean, when somebody's on probation for the purposes of rehabilitation, the point is to rehabilitate. And if the person believes there's nothing to rehabilitate, then probation isn't going to work because they're not going to follow what needs to be done. I mean, why are we going to go through the process of that if it's set up for failure from the word go?
I don't believe that it'll be set up for failure.
Well, if I put you on probation, I'm going to have you go for a further psychiatric evaluation, for a further drug and alcohol evaluation.
Okay.
And my pretty concerted guess is that they're going to order some treatment on both ends. You don't think you have either of those problems. Therefore, you're not going to engage in the treatment. And we'll be right back here because you haven't complied. That's the problem we face right now.
I would comply. I think counseling would be good.
Well, so do I, but you know, based on everything you said in these reports and what you told me up until now, I mean, those are kind of empty words coming from you because you don't think there's a problem.
That's why I think something might be wrong with me.
I guess there's no question that you took those. You signed out those drugs representing them to be administered to other patients, and you didn't do that, okay? I guess the only thing that can be said for you at this point is that you didn't deprive these people of drugs that they should have gotten. Okay? So you at least had the sense to falsify on the side that didn't harm the patients.
That's why I had asked a witness, but I didn't ever think that he was going to say he didn't remember.
Ms. Blake?
Your Honor, the state of Ohio entered into an agreement with the defendant in this case to recommend community control, and that was based on the defendant having no criminal history. It was based on the fact that the defendant, outside of this issue with Dilaudid, seemingly has the ability to be a productive member of society and to potentially do positive things. It was based on the defendant complying with her conditions of bond post-plea once the court reinstated her bond. And it appears that those things are still true. So again, the state certainly shares the same concern that the court has about the lack of accountability here. But we do have an agreement with the defendant in this case pursuant to plea negotiations to ask this court to adopt a jointly recommended sentence of community control. And I would ask that you do that. I do want to point one thing out about the nursing home staff in this case, Your Honor. You heard from one of the members of that staff, the assistant director of nursing, Ms. Muscle, and the defendant has said here today that the nursing home staff was out to get her once they became aware of her prior conduct in Wycliffe. That could not be further from the truth. The nursing home staff, and we talked to every single one of them, we went out to Vista Springs, they were very, very hesitant to fire Mr. Nask. She was an at-will employee. They could have fired her, just to fire her. They could have done that, but they didn't want to do that. They all expressed to us the severity of ruining her career, and they didn't want to do that without being sure of their suspicions. So they took those steps to investigate what was going on, and they did not want to ruin her career. And to a man, Your Honor, every single person that we spoke to told us, and this was unsolicited, they told us that Mr. Nask was well-liked and that she was a good nurse. And so that means one of two things to me. It either means that that was the act she put on so she could get away with this conduct, or it means she really, truly has that potential. And I'm hoping it's the latter. We're going to ask that you give her the opportunity on community control to hopefully prove that it is the latter. And I would defer to you, Your Honor, with respect to any sanctions that the court deems appropriate as part of her community control. Thank you.
I've never worked in the nursing profession, but I'm pretty sure taking controlled substances home with you is frowned upon. By Scott, you mean me, right? I hope it means me. We have a motion and a second. We're going to call the question.
Okay, I reviewed the pre-sentence report, the psychiatric evaluation, the details from the Ohio Attorney General report. I reviewed several letters in support of you that were submitted, all of which paint a very positive picture of you. As reflected by what Ms. Blake said about coworkers. Okay, so your problem is not that you're a bad person, not that you're not a hard worker. It's that you've got some problems, either psychiatric and or drugs and alcohol, that you just refuse to recognize or don't want to accept. Okay? Until you do that, you're going to have continuing problems. Okay? That's just reality. All right? And it isn't going to, I mean, I could tell you that 10 more times and you're not going to believe me. All right? It's going to take you recognizing that. Whether you do
I've
or
never had
not
lobster in my
is
life.
completely in your control. So I've considered all the applicable statutes. I'm going to place you on community control for 4 years. You're going to serve 12 days in jail with credit for 12. You're to have no drugs or alcohol, and you'll be screened. I want you to get a psychiatric evaluation and follow all the recommendations. I want you to get a drug and alcohol evaluation, follow all the recommendations, maintain and obtain full employment, verifiable full employment. You're to see only one doctor. If you need more than one doctor, you have to inform the probation department of who that is. One dentist and one pharmacy for any prescription medication. You're to take medication only as it's prescribed. Ouch. You're going to sign releases so probation can get your records, and you're going to pay the cost and supervision fees in this case. Ms. Crook, any other terms?
With regards to employment,
Verifiable employment.
what about in the healthcare industry?
Well, I don't know who would hire her in the healthcare industry, so.
Yeah, she's probably done in that industry.
I just.
With a conviction.
It's probably not in the cards. I don't know why you would want to go into the healthcare industry.
I do not.
Okay, so.
I will not ever.
Do you understand all the terms?
I believe, yes, Your Honor.
Any question about the terms?
Thank you, Bug Duggar.
No, Your Honor.
Date night it
Okay,
is.
if you don't comply with the terms, the state will file a motion to terminate your community control. And if it finds you violated, then you face 36 months in prison. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If that happens when you get out, you might be on post-release control for up to 2 years under the parole authority with conditions. If you violate conditions,
go back.
Parole authority could send you back to prison for up to 9 months for each violation, up to 1/2 of my sentence. If that violation is a new felony, then you could get an additional consecutive prison sentence for the violation, the maximum of which is the greater of 12 months or the time left under post-release control. Ms. Blake, anything else?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. No, thank you.
Mr. Fatiga?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, we're adjourned.
We're in recess. Interesting courts, both of them dealing with people who are suffering from addiction based on what I can see. One of them in complete denial, meaning this one, and the previous one not yet ready to get the help they need. Hopefully both individuals are able to get the help they need. Addiction it's a monster. It takes over your life. It will drive you to do things that any other human being who is not suffering from it would find reprehensible. It's terrible. Hope they both get on their path to sobriety and stay there with some good support. But last one lost her career. She's not going to be going back to nursing, probably ever. For what she did, she's lucky. It might have been early in the addiction cycle. Amber Alert just went out, and we got a notice from Amber regarding that, so I'm going to read that really quickly. Amber Alert, Columbus, Ohio. That's where we're just watching court from. 2004 white Ford Ranger pickup, Ohio plate, Hotel Romeo Whiskey 1901. Stickers near rear window. Victim Mackenzie Hall, age 13. White female, brown hair, gray hoodie, white shoes. Suspect is Shane Stephen Smith, age 48. White male, brown hair. Last known location around Huron Avenue. If you see the child, suspect or vehicle, call 911 or 1-877 Amber OH. Oh wow! Oh, we were watching Cleveland. This is Columbus. Debbie, 1 year, but actually a lot longer. YouTube messed me up. YouTube's been really rough. I appreciate you guys voting. Apparently, we're going on a date tonight, Mrs. R.A., so I'd like to take this opportunity to invite you, Mrs. R.A. Do you want to go on a date with me tonight? Are you free? I think the answer is yes. And Bug Duggar. I think it was Bug Duggar. Yes, Bug Duggar. Thank you for the tip for the big steak. I've never had a lobster in my life, and I'm not sure if I would like it. I'm pretty sure I couldn't get Mrs. R.A. to eat one because we had a bad experience with crawdads back in the day when I thought I wanted to do that. Mrs. R.A. is like, oh my gosh, I'd love to. It's so out of the blue. Energy savers turned on. Why is my... I'm about to lose my stream. We have mere seconds before my computer goes dead. Just in time. I yanked the plug out and didn't know it. Hang on. I've got a call from somebody. I don't know who it is. Just 1 second. Hey, this is R.A. Who's on the phone? Sorry.
Hi, it's Tessa calling.
Tessa?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yes.
How are you doing,
Okay,
Tessa?
so just good. How are you?
Doing well.
Good. So just real quick from that last one, the whole lady or whatever, and how she lost her job. Yeah. So my mom actually, she was in really bad addiction, and she got caught going to Idaho with prescriptions that weren't hers, and my brother in the vehicle. So she got a really bad charge for that. But actually, weird thing is, she's now a counselor for people who are in addiction. So she's now 12 years sober, but it's crazy. I'm like, I didn't think she would ever get that job.
Wow. It just goes to show you can turn your life around. You can get back there.
Yes.
And it does take an employer who's willing to look at that and say, looking at the whole picture, this is something I'm willing to give you a chance on. In some cases, legally, there are options. The door's closed to you with some convictions. Unless you can get that expunged, there's no way to get there. But that sounds great. I'm glad that your mom was able to get back on track and now doing something wonderful like that. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Tessa, thanks for
so
sharing
I
that.
do believe in her. I do believe in her as much as it sucks, 12 days in jail.
Yeah.
But maybe that will turn her life around a little bit and she'll think, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. So it actually does help a lot of people.
Well, she's at least, this last lady, she's willing to at least see a counselor. Maybe a counselor can talk to her and say, we call this addiction. This is what addiction looks like. And maybe she can get to the point where she can recognize that she's dealing with a bigger beast than just, oops, I had a typo on a piece of paper. But denial is powerful.
Good thing is, they got her before it got worse. Yep. So, that's the good part about it. But I thought I would just share my thought out there really quick.
Tessa, thank you.
I
appreciate it. Thanks for calling in.
Of course.
We'll see you.
Yes, of
Bye.
course. Have a good day. Bye.
Josh, I've never had lobster. I went to Red Lobster, and the next day they shut down the store. Like they did that whole nationwide, we're closing a whole bunch of stores, probably because I ate all the shrimp. But I've never had lobster. But I like most fish, but not lobster or crab. I like crab meat. Mostly imitation, because that's what I afford, which is basically white fish with dye and food coloring and flavoring. Let's double date long distance. There we go. We'll send pictures to each other that we're out on a date. And we talked about buying a grill. We can't buy a grill. Hey, Mrs. R.A., there's that, there's a Korean grill restaurant in town that's supposed to be open soon. Maybe we could go there. Are you up for that? I know we've done Mongolian grill in the past, and I like that. We've been fortunate, never had food poisoning, which is it's sort of like a little bit of gamble when you go to Mongolian grill, because you get your plate and you just pick up a whole bunch of raw meat and veggies and everything, and then you throw it to a guy who cooks it quickly on a big circle grill and then hands it back to you on a different plate. As long as the process was followed properly, including the cooking properly, then it's good. I've never done Korean though. Lobster is a big shrimp. I see that. I see the similarities with the tail and the legs and the flip, 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 flip. That's the sound they make. Chain of custody. It's important, yes. I never let my eyes off the food, because I want to make sure that somebody's raw food didn't accidentally get mixed into my cooked food when I'm going to Mongolian grill. But if you've got a good cook who knows how to, make sure the big chunks of frozen beef and fish or whatever else you've got it, not fish. You don't eat fish. That's disgusting. Why would I say that? Like pork and chicken and beef, whatever it is you've got in there. Calamari, I don't know. As long as they're like broken up and cooked thoroughly, it's so good. Do you all talk to each other in separate rooms like this, even when off the air? I would call her on the phone, but somebody doesn't have one. Josh, I've tried to get her one, but to no avail. I grew up on the ocean. Lobster, crab, clams were almost an everyday meal. I like the idea. I love the idea. All right. It has been a great day. It's been a great week. Appreciate the down weeks between trials. They helped reset me mentally and get ready for the next one. So hopefully fingers crossed, we're working on some stuff with some access to some courts down in Florida. With Trial TV Live, we're trying to get that all squared away. More trials coming soon. Hopefully one on Monday, if we can swing it. But no announcements yet. So I'm having salmon burgers tonight. Allergic to shrimp, but not lobster. Oh, man. I'm so glad I'm not allergic to shrimp. Went to Mongolian barbecue like one time. Sick for the next week. Melissa, did I see your updates? Let me look. Did it come in as a... I did not see it. Where was the update? Did it come in as text? see a bunch of big dills. Big dill pickles with Christmas hats on. Those look amazing. Checking the email box. Melissa, I'm missing it. I'll text you. Okay, I'll watch for it. Thank you all. Tonight, when you go home, please hug the people you love. Go on a date with the one you love, if you can. Hug the people you love. Smile at someone. Make their day just a little bit better. And please stay safe till we go live again. It will be Monday morning. Please stay safe with the storms. I know Weather Watch is keeping an eye on that, and it's pretty rough out there, guys. We've got snow out west. We've got tornadoes and stuff Midwest, and I know it's like midsummer out here in the East Coast. But that's all subject to change. You guys have a good night. Be good to each other. We'll see you on Monday.
I was kicked back, taking it easy. I saw a chicken fight.